What's up, family? This is Jimmy About a Hood, aka East Sweat. And in this episode, as I show you me building out this stack, we're going to talk about the South African Kruegerrand. Stay tuned. Like I said, as I build out this stack, I'm going to share with you guys some of the pieces that I purchased, and I want to talk about this South African Kruegerrand, right? So a lot of the questions I got after the last videos, I'm going to address some of those in this video here. One of the questions I got was about, coins versus bars, right? So I do own bars. I showed the AppMex bar in the last video, but I like buying coins, right? So thing about coins, one of the main benefits, in my opinion, is that, their purity and precious metal content is guaranteed by the government that makes them. So let's talk about that in relation to this Kruegerrand. So in this case, that is the South African mint. And that mint has been around since 1890, right? So think about that. Here, this is a South African coin, but this mint has been around since 1890. One of the great things about coins is, as someone who loves history, there's like a history behind each coin, the mint, the people or things on the coin. You know what I mean? So coins, they have a large secondary market, right? They're very simple to sell and don't require much authentication because they're easily recognized around the world, and some can be used as legal tender, right? It's a story I got to tell about that as well. So if you look at some of these coins back here, like I said, most of my stack is made up of this American Silver Eagle, which is, a U.S. mint coin. And if you look closely, it says 1 ounce is a fine silver, but it also says it's a $1 coin, right? So it has a dollar amount. But I think that's important to talk about, that dollar amount there. And the reason that's important, in my opinion, is because I was reading stories where someone builds up a nice stack, right? And, they die, pass away, and their family looks at these coins and they go and just sell it based upon what it says on there in terms of how much it is as a legal tender, right? So this says $1, but it's worth a lot more as a piece of silver. Another example. So my second favorite here, the Canadian maple leaf. I actually think this might be my favorite, to be honest with you. It's hard. But if you take a look at it, right? What's this? It's $5. So it's a $5 coin. But it's worth a lot more than $5 because of the silver content, right? So just keep that in mind. But this is a South African coin, right? Nonetheless. So let's talk about that. But I just want to make sure that you keep that in mind, because I want more of us to get involved in this space. But make sure that, and this is a side note anyway, because we talk about this a lot as it pertains to real estate, the stock market. Just have your paperwork straight. Please have your paperwork straight. But also talk to your family about whatever assets you do have. One of the other questions I got is about precious metals as an asset class. And I was trying to explain to someone that it's more of insurance than an investment, but it can be an investment. And we'll probably dig into that in a future video, why I consider it more insurance. But with that being said, just talk to them about all the assets that you have. Because imagine you having $1 million in silver or gold or whatever that precious metal may be, and they look at, and it's all in coins, right? So they look at this and you have 1 million eagles, right? You have $1 million worth of eagles, but guess what? It wouldn't sell for $1 million because they're selling them as $1 coins, thinking they just have $1. That can be very problematic, to your family. So make sure you don't do that. Make sure you understand what it is you have. But, and speaking about coins, though, getting back to the original question, there is like a negative. I wouldn't go start calling it a negative, but it's a downside, I should say, to buying coins as opposed to bars. They do have a higher premium. So you'll sometimes pay more for your gold and silver buying these coins as opposed to if you would have bought a silver round or a silver bar. And we can get into exactly what a premium is in a future video, because this is really just to talk about this coin and show the purchase. And by the way, I didn't just buy one. I think this past week I got about, let's see, I caught 4 of them. So, like I said, I'm buying something every week in small increments. This is show me build this stack up, you know what I mean? Instead of just jumping out there buying a whole box of something slowly but surely. So I did get 4 of these. So, but let's talk about it though, right? So on one side, right, let's talk about this side first. And just to show you. I know this focus is kind of nuts, but anyway. It gives you the word Krugerrand, fine silver. It's an image of what's called a springbok antelope. That's what they call this. I did the research on the antelope. Again, not that you have to do all this, but I'm interested in what's on each coin and the history behind it. So this is called a springbok antelope. You know what I'm saying? And you see the year 2020. So each coin should have like a year on it. This is a 2020 coin. Now, on the flip side, which is, what I've been showing you for most of this video, this is interesting as well, right? It's Paul Kruger, who this Krugerrand was named after. Now, who's Paul Kruger, you may ask? Well, I'm glad you did ask. He was the president of the South African Republic from 1883 to 1900. So you see on here, it also says South Africa, but it's in two different languages. So it's in English, and there's also an African language here as well. And yes, it's called an African language, and I'll spell it here in the video for you. But it's a language of South Africa. It was derived from the form of Dutch that were brought to the Cape by Protestant settlers back in the 17th century. And it's the official language of South Africa. So in their language, this basically just says South African. And it also says South African English on this side. So, but getting back to Paul Kruger, right? He was a major political figure, as well as a military figure in South Africa. Depending upon which history you read, some call him champion of the people. But again, you got to understand how history is told. It's told by the winners. You read a lot of other history. They say that he was an oppressor of black folks. So, just make sure you do your due diligence on who he is. Not that you have to, again, but if you're like me and you're into that kind of stuff, you want to know who this person is and why they're on the coin. You know what I mean? Now, a little history about the coin itself. For majority of its existence, these coins were only available in like a gold version. But in 2017, the South African Mint created the silver version, and it was so well received that now they come out annually. And all four of the ones that I just recently purchased are 2020s. So it's a 2020. This is also a 2020. A 2020, and last but not least, a 2020. All right. So I thought these were pretty interesting coins, with a little story to them. All of them are 1 ounces of silver. So I'm gonna continue to build the stack out. So before I take these to storage, just wanted to make sure I show you guys these, because that was another question. Did you keep all that stuff? Listen, man, never leave your stash house where you crash out. So I know I don't leave all my precious metals here with me, but before I take it, I want to make a video. I still do have this one, so I'm gonna take this in as well. But and these are just some other coins I have. Like I said, American Eagles. All these are American Eagles, and these are Canadian Maples. But I got some more stuff on the way. More gold, more silver. Well, I didn't show any gold this one, but I have some gold coming, as well as some silver. And, before I take it into the storage, I'll make sure to show you, what I cop as I build this stack out. But this was about the South African Krugerrand. Interesting coin, interesting figure. Look up Paul Kruger. This, if you're into that, look it up. Look at his history. Interesting history behind these coins and behind this man, Paul Kruger here. But I think it's a beautiful coin from the South African Mint. And I'll probably add some more of these to my stack as I continuously build it out. Again, if you have any questions, please, shoot us an inbox. Let us know what's going on. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share this video. If you know anybody, from the culture who's into precious metals, make sure that you send them my way. I like to build with people who also have an interest in precious metals. So with that being said, I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.